East London on Friday morning. A minicab driver swears at a man in a VW Golf trying to pass. Then that person starts racially abusing the taxi driver.
Speak proper English then. You born here.
The question, is this sort of thing more likely to happen after the referendum result? At West London's Polish Cultural Centre, they're answering that question with a resounding yes. On Saturday, and for the first time in nearly 50 years, the building was daubed with a racist slogan.
Thank you. Thank you.
There are many of us who are really glad the Poles are here.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's...
We're honoured that you're here.
Thank you so
While we were
much.
there, a man arrived with more flowers and an emotional show of support.
Thank you very
Excuse me,
much.
sir.
Thank
Can you just tell us why you've come?
Well, I've come to support the Poles because I think they've had a really bad time of it, because the Poles are great people and I've always admired them and they integrate well. They're just fantastic people.
As well as the incident at the centre, police are also investigating the fact that these laminated cards were found near a school in Huntingdon, Cambridgeshire. Multiple examples are being posted online, and it's not just anecdotal. 85 race hate incidents were reported to the National Police Hate Crime website between Thursday and Sunday, up from 54 on the same days last month. There's also been reported racial abuse directed at people who voted to leave, of course. The Prime Minister addressed the overall issue today.
We will not stand for hate crime or these kinds of attacks. They must be stamped out.
That's the big picture. Racism, though, an intimate, personal affair. On Sunday, a man slowed down, then accelerated as Nisha Party was at a zebra crossing.
Kind of step back and just kind of raise my arms to go, what are you doing? Did you not see me? And then he just shouted the P word out of his window. And it was clear to me that that was probably the reason why he didn't want to stop for me. You know, I was definitely called those kind of names when we were growing up, but I haven't been called that for a good 30 years. So it doesn't feel to me like it's a coincidence.
The referendum, it would seem, has given a minority an excuse to voice latent hatred. But also, at the Polish Centre, a chance for others, in turn, to voice something else.
Hey guys, I'm that Ned Lou and welcome to my latest video. So I haven't uploaded for a while, but I'm back, finally back at home, and I'm ready to upload again. Now, I was going to bring this video out a couple of days ago, but basically what happened is I completely sort of changed the way I was going to do it. Originally it was just going to be a vlog, but then I decided to make it an Angry Nerd rant. So obviously I haven't done one of those for quite a while, and a lot of people have been telling me that they want me to get back into doing them. So I thought, you know, let's do that with this topic, which is, as you can tell by the title, it's regarding the fallout of Brexit, as in the UK leaving the EU, and also it's on the US election. Just both of those things sort of go hand in hand. Obviously they're both political things that are going on, but they link quite scarily well in terms of sort of what surrounds them and the sort of impact of those things. Now, I'm going to start off talking about Brexit. So last week Britain voted to leave the EU, and personally I voted to remain. We left. I'm not going to sit here and be one of those people that said, oh, we definitely should have remained, or leave was a stupid option. No, I'm not going to sit here and say that, because there was good reasons and bad reasons for voting for either thing. It's just a personal choice. However, now that we have left and David Cameron stepped down, it's given the rise to the more right-wing leaders to come to the surface, and that really, really worries me. Obviously Boris Johnson is sort of standing in as Prime Minister at this time. He's known for being even more right-wing than David Cameron. And then you've got Nigel Farage, who obviously was a major part of the Leave campaign, and yeah, he's even worse than Boris. He's even more right-wing, even more sort of, I don't want to say racist, because he's not overtly racist, but let's be honest, racism isn't overt anymore. Racism isn't you walk down the street, get called a nigger, or you walk down the street if you're You get called something offensive to whatever your nationality is if you're sort of a minority, and it's not anything like that. It's on a very sort of subtle level, on a very sort of quiet level, I guess you could say. It's not in your face, it's not easy to see, it's more implied these days. And with a lot of the changes that things that are happening, for example, David Cameron did a lot of right-wing things in sort of the way that he handled the disabled people, the way he scrapped a lot of their sort of like sort of the benefits and all that sort of thing. The way he's just handled homeless people, that has just been appalling. Like, there's been so many sort of campaigns that criminalise homeless people. It's not really their fault that they don't have a home or they can't afford to eat, so they have to live on the street and beg for change and stuff like that. Because it's not their fault, so there's no point demonising them. But yeah, the main thing that I'm concerned about is the xenophobia and racism surrounding this. Now, if you're going to be one of those people that sits there and says that the Leave campaign had nothing to do with racism, then you're completely wrong. I'm not saying everyone that voted Leave is racist. I'm not saying that. In fact, most of the people that voted Leave were concerned about genuine sort of economic problems and sort of unemployment and that, but not in a racist way. However, because basically not all Leave voters are racist, but all racists would have voted Leave. So the fact that they have left has given more rise to xenophobia and racism, because they now think that's okay to deal with. So basically what I'm saying is all the xenophobia and racism and all that sort of stuff, like you saw in the montage at the beginning of the video, all the stuff that's sort of going on regarding, well, since this has happened, you've got people putting leaflets through Polish people's doors telling them to go home, we vote out, or a woman got told that I think she was of like some sort of Asian descent, like Pakistani or something like that, and she basically got told to get out by a group of people, and they just said that we voted to leave, get out of the country, and that sort of stuff. And there's been stories in the schools where sort of Polish children and stuff like that have been crying, thinking that they're going to get, like, being afraid that they're going to get deported and that sort of stuff. And it's just a whole vicious sort of mess, and it's just horrible to see. As a mixed race guy, I know what racism is, and a lot of white people, I'm not saying this in a bad way towards white people. I love all people, whatever colour you are, whatever religion you are, whatever sexuality, whatever, I love you. But a lot of white people don't understand how bad racism actually is. Of course, it's not in your face, like I said earlier, but it's still around, and I just don't understand why you would want to treat someone differently because of what they look like, or because of like what they believe in or where they're from. If they believe in something that's completely bad, like, I don't know, say they're a neo-Nazi, then yeah, they deserve to be just get out. But anything else, just as long as it's not negative or it's not trying to cause harm to people believe in what you want. You know what I mean? It just really, really baffles me. And the fact that Nigel Farage is one of the favourites to be the next Prime Minister makes me extremely worried, because before, you know, quite a while ago, you obviously had the BNP. They never got him, they never got any seats anywhere near that. UKIP, again, in the last general election, got absolutely smashed when they promised that they were sort of going to win the whole thing. And yeah, I just thought after that, oh, UKIP, that's the end of them. But no, this all comes out, and then obviously Leave wins, and then they come out. Nigel Farage comes out with that smug grin on his face that actually makes me just want to punch him. He's just got such a punchable face. Just look at him, and his face just screams at you. Just screams, "I'm a bellend." So, you know, he's just an absolute knob of a person. But the fact that he's now one of the favourites to be Prime Minister, I'm not gonna. If he becomes Prime Minister, I'll deport myself. I'll go to any other country, just anywhere. I'll go to somewhere nice like Sweden or Finland or Norway, somewhere like that. You know, Scandinavia. They're just happy people. They're not racist. So yeah, there's that. there's so many racist things that Nigel Farage just said. I mean, here's a clip of him saying something not quite along the lines of what you would call nice.
I am a bit sad.
Why are you sad?
Because Kerry Smith is a rough diamond. He's a council house boy from the East End of London. Left school early, and talks and speaks in a way that a lot of people from that background do. We can pretend if we like.
So if you're from the council house,
hang on a second.
You say pufter, do you?
No. If you and your mates are going out for a Chinese, what do you say you're going for?
I honestly would not use the word chinky. Would
Fine.
you?
A lot of people would.
Would you?
No, but a lot of people would.
So you've never used that word?
I don't think I've ever used that word, but the point is this.
Why did you raise that?
The point is this.
And yeah, that just shows the manner of the man, and I've made countless videos bashing him and UKIP, and I just can't be arsed anymore. If you can't see that he's a bellend, there's something wrong with you. Like, I just don't understand. He wants to make... it's a similar story to Trump, really. Trump has said, let's make America great again. It's like, let's make Britain great again. I wonder where we've heard that before. I can't think. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'm not quite sure where I've heard it before. Anyway, on to the Trump situation. He's the second favourite to win the US election currently, going by, while I looked earlier on, Paddy Power, who normally you just bet for sports, but for some reason you can bet on politics as well. But he's like the second favourite after Hillary Clinton, and that really scares me that he is at all he's got better odds than Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders was one of the greatest candidates. I'm not 100% sure if people can still vote for Bernie Sanders because he lost the party election where Clinton won, so she's the Democrat candidate and Trump is the Republican one. I don't really know how it works. I'm not American. If someone who is American knows about that stuff, let me know in the comments. Can you still vote for Bernie Sanders? I'm not quite sure. I don't think he can, or maybe he can, but he just gets less. I don't really know. Just someone explain to me. Trump he's an outright racist psychopath. I mean, just look at this clip.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States. Millions of people are flowing across our southern border. We've got to build a real wall. Let's make America great again. Like,
literally, if you've seen Archer and you know the character Krieger, who is essentially bred from, Hitler's DNA, I feel like that's what Trump is in real life. He's literally, the spawn of Hitler. He's just the American equivalent. Obviously, I'm not saying if he gets in, he's gonna draw concentration camps, he's gonna invade the world, he's gonna, roll into Mexico, and then he's just gonna try and take over and dominate the world. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying right-wing leaders, it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. You just never know what is gonna occur with it. And I'm just beg Americans, if there's any Americans watching this, do not vote for him. And as far as I'm concerned, if you vote for him, you're an idiot, basically, because he's just not good for anything. I don't understand why anyone would believe him. He's a Republican leader. I guess it kind of goes without saying that Republicans are fucking dickheads. I honestly wish the guy that tried to assassinate him had actually done it, and actually shot him, would be dead, and then the world would be at least a little bit closer to being okay. But no, we're moving further away, we're moving back in time. We need to be stopped more. That doesn't even make sense. You need to stop being so nationalistic. Obviously, I don't mind you having pride for your country, but I want to see people care more about each other rather than just themselves. The right-wing things, they care about their own country, their own interests. They want their country to be the best rather than trying to help the world and create peace and harmony and all that sort of stuff. No, they want to just benefit themselves. It's fed by greed, it's fed by just selfish goals, and it's just awful it's just an awful situation, really. I hate Trump. If I ever came face to face with him, can't tell you what I'd do, but it'd probably end with him in some sort of bed, whether that be hospital or a morgue. Just, it wouldn't end well, because he's just a cock. He's a racist. He's homophobic, xenophobic. He's just a horrible person. I've run out of adjectives to describe him. He's basically, if you look up in the dictionary, open your dictionary, or you flick through, you go to a certain section you're looking for, look for the word cunt. It's just got a picture of Donald Trump there. He's just there with his wig, with his fucking Confederate flag and his KKK uniform, because he may as well own them. In fact, he probably does own them. He said that, well, basically a news report told him that the KKK had sort of been supporting Trump, and Trump completely denied. He was like, what, who are they? He's like, essentially said, like, I don't know who that, like, they said the leader, one of the leaders sort of said that they were going to vote for Trump, and he essentially just tossed it aside and just said, I don't care who votes for me, don't even know who that guy is, even though he blatantly does. He's a straight up liar, and like, all politicians lie, it's just the way it is, but him and Farage, they just seem to just directly just lie about everything, and then when they get caught out, they try to sort of deny it. Like Nigel Farage, he promised that there would be £350 million given to the NHS if we left the EU. And then he came on TV and essentially said that it was a mistake to say that, and they're not actually going to give anywhere near that much money to the NHS. So people have essentially voted for things that they're not going to get, and that as far as I'm concerned, that's election fraud, really is. But back towards Trump himself, I'm just really scared, man. Like, if he gets in power, and then if Boris or Farage gets in power, imagine those people with the nuclear launch codes to essentially, they can literally nuke the earth. Imagine that. Them people, you're trusting that on them. That's not cool, man. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, every country just needs to get rid of nuclear weapons. They're just horrible, they shouldn't exist. But I've made a bit of video about that previously, but man, it's just a shit situation in the world, and I just really hope that people see sense. And there's a lot of other candidates that Americans can vote for. That, you know, there's the likes of Gary Johnson, who's a real outsider. I think he's like 100 to 1 to win the election, and he essentially is the libertarian candidate, and he wants stuff like, he wants peace, he wants to legalise weed, he wants to sort of help, sort of get a similar health system to the NHS, as far as I'm concerned. Not concerned, aware, that's the word. As far as I'm aware, I think that's what he wants to do. I know Obama tried to do it and it got sort of rejected, basically. But Obama's done a similar thing, trying to make colleges more affordable and cheap. And Gary Johnson wants to do a lot of good things for America, so I think he's a great candidate. Bernie Sanders, like I said, I'm not 100% sure if you can vote for him. He is on, I think he's like 33 to 1 or something. But I'm not really sure if you can vote for him. But he had such a great plan. He just wanted to just turn America into a nicer country. He's a lot more socialist, a lot more left-wing of a leader, and he was just amazing. And I'm really sad that he didn't win the sort of the leadership thing, or whatever it's called, but that he didn't win the party election for the Democrats. Because Hillary Clinton, I just can see it going equally as wrong, not as bad as Donald Trump. So if she wins, I'll be happy, but I won't be sort of overjoyed, because at the end of the day, she's nearly as incompetent as Trump. I can just see foreign policy when she gets in just going completely mental. She would be the first female president, which would be a good sort of step forward for women. However, I'd rather have a female president that's actually like not a moron, because she just doesn't have a clue. She's not as right-wing as Trump, but she's definitely not left-wing, and I really think that the way forward in the world is left-wing, because at the end of the day, the further you go into the left-wing, it's sort of about everyone helping each other, it's about peace, it's about harmony, it's about happiness, freedom. Why would you want the world to not be a better place? So what I'm saying is, think about what you're voting for, you know, go have a look into the different isms, I guess you could say. For example, socialism, anarchism, libertarian socialism, that sort of stuff. You know, just have a look around, research more, try and get some sort of sense of what everything is, because a lot of people aren't this deep into politics, and I think that's really sad because it's such an important thing that people need to just be into. Yeah, it gets annoying after a while sometimes, people constantly going on and you're scrolling through Twitter or Facebook and all you see is politics, like what happened when we left the EU. It did get on my nerves a little bit, but it's a very important thing, and I just really just want to tell people to stop voting right wing. Obviously I'm all for freedom of choice, but don't vote for Trump if you're American. And when it comes to electing a new Prime Minister, don't vote for Boris Johnson, don't vote for Farage, because it's just going to send the world in a direction that we don't want to go. We've already heard rumours that Germany want to leave the EU, France want to leave it as well, and then if those nations go, then more and more nations are going to want to leave, and everyone's just going to become more and more nationalist, and in my opinion it could lead to a lot of conflict throughout the world. I'm not saying a World War III, but you never know, just putting that out there. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy this video. Leave a like if you did, comment. Like I said, if someone could let me know, can you still vote for Bernie Sanders even though he didn't win the party election? And also comment what are your opinions on the US election, even if you're whichever country you're from. If you're American, tell me who you're voting for if you're voting. If you're British, tell me who you would vote for if you were American, or if you're any other nationality, tell me. And also let me know your opinions on Britain leaving the EU, and if you're British, which way did you vote? I'd be interested to hear your opinions and your reasons why. So yeah guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.